Hi, I'm Jasmine Savoy Brown, and I play Mindy Meeks Martin.
My name is Mason Gooding, and I play Chad Meeks Martin in Scream 7 and 5 and 6, but who's counting?
Hi, I'm McKenna Grace, and I play Hannah.
Hi, I'm Joel McHale, and I'm playing Mark.
Hi, my name is Celeste O'Connor, and I play Chloe Parker in Scream 7.
I'm Anna Camp, and I play Jessica Bowden in Scream 7.
I'm Sam Reckner, and I play Ben Brown in Scream 7.
Hi, my name is Jason Garman, and I'm playing Lucas Bowden.
Hi, I'm Kevin Williamson, and I am the director of Scream 7. I'm also one of the writers, as well as the writer of the first one, the second one, the fourth one, and so on. The thing that makes this movie so special for me is that Neve Campbell has come back in a big way. In this movie, this is about Sydney. It's really about Sydney Prescott. What would happen if she had a daughter that was exactly the same age as she was when this all started back in 1996? And what relevance that would have with her. She's been pursued by a series of killers throughout her entire life. And how does that affect her mothering her child? And how does she parent? And I think that's what we explore in the film.
Sydney, when she started out, she was young, she was vivacious, excited about life, had gone through some hardship, and obviously is faced with huge challenge and finds her footing as a survivor as opposed to a victim. And now in this film, she's found happiness. She's found she's created a family, has children, has motherhood, has found peace, and then of course chaos finds her.
My character, Mark, we're married, and I'm a sheriff. Ghostface has been following her a lot of her life, and my character loves her and is trying to protect her, and but you know, she's the badass. He's a sheriff, and he's tough, and he's really good at what he does, but I think he is absolutely he's so in love with Sydney and enamored by her, and he would do anything for her. So our relationship, like in this is the first time my character has experienced a crazy guy in a mask coming at him with a knife and trying to kill them. You get thrown into this horror roller coaster that you're like, imagine if this was real life. How would you react, and what would you do? And you would do everything to save your family.
Sydney Prescott desperately wants to protect her children, and she wants to keep her daughter from having to sort of experience what she experienced. She wants a different life for them. And so when, Ghostface comes calling, Sydney has to become the warrior that she's, that we all know her to be. And not only that, she has to teach her daughter what it means to be a warrior and a survivor.
Tatum is in high school and is the same age that Sydney was in the original film. Tatum Evans is 17 years old, and when you're first introduced to her, she's, having the typical high school experience. She has a boyfriend, she has great friends, she has interests, but she's having a really, really difficult time connecting with her mom, Sydney Prescott. She's trying to figure out who she is in the world, but she feels like she doesn't have the relationship she wishes she had with her mother. She's heard stories about her mother's past from other people, but never from her mother directly. So, she's in the dark in a lot of ways.
Isabel May is such a terrific actress. When we were casting Tatum, I wanted someone that rich, that had that much more, that emotional life that just sort of like leaped out of her. She has so much depth, so much heaviness, so much seriousness. She was very much Sydney Prescott's daughter.
Working with Isabel has been amazing. She's a phenomenal actress, and it's been really fun to have her character introduced into the film and have Sydney have this incredible relationship with her mom, incredible and complicated relationship with her daughter. It's certainly challenging for her not to live in fear of danger coming towards her family, and you really see the sort of the mother bear come up in Sydney.
Sydney Prescott and her family come under attack by a new and vicious Ghostface killer. It's a story about a mother and daughter trying to connect and a daughter who desperately wants to know her mother and wants her mother to tell her about her past, and she just wants to truly connect and know her mother in a very deep way, and a mother who keeps shutting it down and cutting herself off from her daughter because she doesn't want to relive her past.
Scream 7, I think it's really going back to its roots. We're checking in on Sydney and we're seeing what's happening to her life, and now she's a mother and how that's affected her life. And we're really just kind of going back and checking in and seeing how life has changed for her and how it hasn't changed also, because she's definitely still being stalked by Ghostface.
I think Sydney and Tatum's characters are very similar. I think Tatum is pretty guarded. She's pretty guarded, she's pretty closed off, and I think that same quality of being guarded is the thing that, she hates about her mom. It's interesting to see that kind of push and pull between those two characters who are very similar and who want to connect but don't really know how to be vulnerable or intimate with each other.
It's been really fun working with a group of younger actors. It's so funny. We're always like the kids, but they're not kids, like they're all in their 20s. But everybody is really perfectly cast for their roles, and everyone really wants to be here. And it just feels like everyone feels lucky to be a part of this film in such a very special way, because it is such an iconic franchise to be a part of.
Chloe is the fashionista, obviously. I think we really created a specific and unique character that also feels authentic to who I am. So it was a really, really fun collaboration, and I mean, the fits are fire. Come on.
Lucas is he's an introvert. He's a nice guy. I think he's misunderstood. He's really into true crime, and I think really just like everybody wants he wants friends, and just has true crime.
So we meet Mindy and Chad. I think it's been a few years. They finished college. They ended up interning for Gail, and so she's bringing them along to solve this Ghostface mystery murder.
Chad's lovely and committed to keeping himself and his sister as safe as possible, and it's one of the things I love about him.
The schedule was pretty quick, and I told my family, and my 16-year-old, I was saying, I have this offer to be in Scream 7. He just goes, do it! You'll be relevant again. And so I was like, thank you. So there we go.
It was very exciting. I remember went into a meeting with Kevin while I was here, and he was like talking all about the script and my role and stuff, and I was like totally mind blown. It's a big dream of mine to be in this world, a dream job for sure.
My initial reaction when I first read the script was just pure excitement. I also really appreciated how deep the story is. The story dives into generational trauma in a way that I wasn't expecting, and I think the relationship between Sydney and Tatum is really beautiful and a really interesting way to explore generational trauma within the horror genre.
The first time I read the script, I had a pretty stark, internal jump scare reaction. It's so crazy to, see a movie like this, different iterations as you're, growing up, and then to see it on the page, a new one that you're gonna get to be in, which is wild, is it's crazy.
I first heard about Scream 7 through Kevin Williamson, who is the director, and I actually got just a Zoom meeting with him, and it was actually on Halloween. So I had my meeting with Kevin on Halloween, and we really hit it off and had a great time, and then I got sent the script and loved it.
When I first heard about Scream 7, I was elated. I was really happy that that the studio had come to me to be a part of the film again. And I was really excited about what the journey for Sydney would be.
I love this franchise. I love Mason. I am so excited and honored to be working with Kevin and the whole new gang, to have Nev back, to work with Courtney, to work with Joel. It's just so much fun. It feels like coming home.
Nothing is ever easy in a Scream film, and I think for Gail and Sydney, their relationship, it's built on their past, and so I love their relationship because it is sort of a push-pull. It is sort of, it's not easy, it's not without its strife, and they fight and they bicker and they argue and they disagree, but they also have a great care and love and trust for one another, and I just love them as, I love their sisterhood in this franchise.
Working with Courtney, especially in this new narrative landscape, because Chad now works along with his sister under the umbrella of Courtney's expertise in the journalistic professional line of work. And I've gotten to understand that she is the most giving, most considerate, and thoughtful person I've had the pleasure of, sitting across a green room with. The charisma and energy she brings to a scene is just truly who she is. And a lot of those compliments could easily be leveled at Nev as well, who is, as I've stated before, the godmother of the genre. She's incredibly understanding as far as how the narrative has changed over the course of, decades, and has allowed her performance to kind of be incited by that.
I had the best time working with Nev Campbell. I've always been a huge fan of hers, obviously from the Scream movies, but also just she's an incredible actress, incredible person. She has a really interesting quality. I think that's why this character is so iconic and people gravitate towards Sidney Prescott, is because of Nev Campbell. She's got this really raw, sort of fascinating depth and vulnerability to her, and then on top of it she's got this really great strength, and I think that sort of runs toe to toe with the character and with the actress.
Working with Nev Campbell was definitely a bucket list sort of thing. It's a pinch me moment. She's iconic, but also just a sweet, kind, lovely human being who really took me under her wing.
It's been really great to reunite with Courtney again. We love working with each other. We were saying the other day, we can't believe it's been 30 years. It's just so crazy. And the dynamic between the two has always been a lot of fun. Their love-hate relationship. And we get to see more of that in this one, although now they're more bonded as older women who've journeyed through a lot together. Gail always brings the humor to these films in a lot of ways, and strength.
Now that I've directed it, yes, of course, I've always wanted to direct one. I didn't realize you don't know what you want until you got it, and then, it all works out. And when I got the phone call and it became a reality and a real thing, I was like, yes, I do want to do this. I really desperately want to do this with all my heart.
I was so excited when we got Kevin on board. I had actually been speaking with Gary Barber and William, our co-producers, and we made the decision that Kevin was the best choice for this, so I got to ask him, which was an amazing feeling because I know he's been wanting to do this for years, and I've always thought it would be a wonderful thing to have Kevin direct. So it's been incredible. He's a dear friend. I love him to death. He knows these characters in these films better than anybody. So it's been so nice to have him at the helm.
Working with Kevin Williamson was an absolute joy and dream come true. I've been a huge fan of his for a very long time. I love Dawson's Creek and Vampire Diaries, and then I was introduced to this franchise, which is an amazing, amazing legacy thing that survived for 30 years. So I'm just really grateful to have spent so much time with him.
Scream is, in a lot of ways, the brainchild of Kevin Williamson. To watch that leap from page into the direction of the world has been as creatively satiating as you would expect. Kevin has a grasp on the narrative that, because it came from his understanding of domesticated horror, which he started, by the way, that means any question you have has an answer that is wrought with history and general character understanding that I don't know if there was anyone else outside of maybe the late Wes Craven who could offer such insight. He is very good at being an understanding and creatively engaging director that I hope if he'd like to do more that he sticks around.
When I found out that Kevin was going to be directing this, I was just very thrilled because obviously he's an absolute legend. So to be able to be directed by him is just incredibly exciting for me, and it's a true bucket list moment. And I just have to pinch myself, when I'm on set. It's just been really a very memorable part of my career, which is really exciting. And I just can't wait for people to see the movie because I think they're really gonna love it.
As soon as I was doing these auditions, it was with Kevin, so I knew kind of straight away instantly that he was going to be directing this thing, and it's just an amazing full circle moment, I guess, for the whole franchise, but for him to be, steering the whole ship of this Scream franchise, to be directing this Scream 7, it's really special. I mean, he knows these characters more than anyone else. It's unparalleled, him directing this thing to anyone else, so it feels incredible to be a part of that. It's special for sure.
Kevin is the nicest man, and he's aware of everything, and this is why I would be a terrible director. He created this franchise, so he did that. So you imagine just doing that, right? And he's obviously a wonderful writer and a wonderful director and producer, and this is why he's been working steadily most of his life, because he's so good at what he's doing and so kind.
I remember when I heard that Kevin would be directing the film because I had a meeting with Kevin. It was awesome, and I just, I have to say, getting to know Kevin here, Kevin is such a great guy, and it feels so incredibly special to get to be a part of this movie when he is getting to do this for the first time as a director. You can feel how much it means to him and how much it means to people like Nev and Courtney, and it's pretty incredible.
When I heard Kevin was directing, I was so intimidated because I'd only met him a couple times, and he's a legend. Like, this franchise wouldn't exist without him. And I don't know how this will sound, but I'm no longer intimidated by him. He is the sweetest, kindest, most humble, talented, delightful person, and working with him has been a dream, and I hope that I get to continue to for a really long time.
It's been really incredible. I am a very, 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 very big Scream fan. It's probably like top 3 favorite movies of all time, the first one. I'm a massive fan. I work a lot of Comic-Cons, and I've snuck into Scream cast photo ops. So before coming here, I already had taken pictures with everybody. I'm just feel like a giddy fan that snuck onto set. It's ridiculous. I'm obsessed. So it's been very surreal, much less to have Kevin directing this. Has been such an insane experience. He's so nice. He's so kind. Such a fun director to have. He has such a lovely energy, especially for somebody who's been doing this for so long and has as much experience as he has. I mean, it's always crazy to be around somebody who created something that you've watched over and over and over and over throughout your life and created something so iconic.
I love Scream so much. It is so personal to me. It is so my childhood. It is my early career. It is everything to me. So to do a Scream movie, it just sort of reignited all those feelings.
Ghostface is back, and Scream 7 it visits the nostalgia of the original, and it has the pulse of the new generation.
I think what makes Ghostface so unique compared to other known killers is just how unpredictable he or she is. And the motive is always different. I think particularly for this film, Scream 7, he's extremely unhinged.
I think what makes Ghostface so terrifying is you just don't know who Ghostface is. In every movie, it's somebody different, with a different person, a different motive. Is it one person, 2 people, 3 people? We've played it so many different ways over this franchise, you don't know what you're going to get. And it's always a different character, and it's always a different motive. And it's Usually someone you know.
I think Ghostface is such an iconic horror villain because it could be the person that is closest to you. It could be your lover, your foe, your best friend. So, you know, you're always at risk being portrayed by the person you care about most.
I just think people love to be scared. I think the whodunit, the mystery, that's what makes it unique. There's ghost stories, there's, you know, monster movies, there's all sorts of stories, but a man with a knife in the dark is just, for me, immensely scary.
Horror is my favorite genre, so I could talk ad nauseum about how the communal experience of seeing something exciting and exhilarating in a theater is integral to the experience itself. And Scream has the added layer of being a murder mystery whodunit, which for an actor is really gratifying because it means every piece of your performance gets picked apart to determine whether or not you're a serial killer. And to watch that with an audience, you actually feel the energy of discovery amongst the people you're watching it with. It ultimately is why I go to the theater, is to have that shared experience. And horror, Scream facilitates it perfectly and executes it just right every time.
I love the horror genre. I loved it since I was a little kid. And I think scary works so well for an audience. I think we love to go into the dark and be scared. And I just think it's such a roller coaster ride. I think nothing's better than a really good horror film.
Scream's such an amazing film. It's like, it's got the jump scares, it's got the blood. If you go there on a date, if you go there for whatever other reason, to see it with your friends or whatever, it's just a really exciting film to watch at the theater, yeah. In the dark, with popcorn.
There's nothing like seeing a horror movie in the dark on a giant screen with a bunch of other people, right? Like, it's so fun to get scared in a big group. And that's why I think you have to see this movie in a movie theater. And I do think that this movie is gonna bring the chills, it's gonna bring the blood, it's gonna bring the gore, you're gonna get scared, you're gonna scream, literally.
I think you have to see a Scream film in the theater. The scares, the stunts, it's all very big and theatrical, and it's just a community experience.
These movies are so much fun to see in the theater. When the first one came out, people were going back 10, 20, 30 times. It's exciting and fun and a roller coaster and funny and scary, and those kinds of emotions are a lot more fun to experience in a group.
You want to watch these movies in a crowd full of people. You want to have that communal experience. You want to have people jumping and screaming, and you want to be able to laugh after the scream, and you all want to sort of pat yourself on the back, and there's sort of a comfort in the communal experience.
I think that people will be really surprised and really happy with the way that this film specifically ties so many of the other Scream films together. It does such a great job really bringing so many elements from the franchise into one awesome movie. And I think that you should see this in theaters because this is a movie that's made to be seen in a movie theater, so you gotta get out and see it in a movie theater, or Ghostface is gonna get you.
When this franchise began, Scream 1, Sidney Prescott was Tatum's age now. She was 17 years old. And so this is an interesting, you're kind of bringing, it's a bit nostalgic, you're bringing the past back and away and connecting it with present day. Sidney's a mother now, but she's also watching her own child sort of experience what she experienced 30 years ago.
It's really exciting to see how Sidney's life has affected her entire family. I think that that's something that's gonna affect people in a very emotional way that maybe they're not expecting when they're going to see a horror film. So it's really cool to see just that parent-child dynamic, mother-daughter dynamic is really, really cool. And I think that they're also, like, all of the deaths in this movie are top-notch, horrifying.
I'm excited for audiences to meet a whole cast of new characters. I think all of us are really unique and beautiful and special. I'm excited for all of the deaths that you guys are gonna see in this movie. They're really gruesome and really epic, but just know that they were made with love.
Everyone wants their things to be successful and to make a hit. To do it once is almost impossible. To do it for 30 years, there's only the handful of franchises that have continued in that time or in the same amount of time you can probably count them on one hand. There is something about Ghostface and these combination of actors, and you just never know when magic is going to come together, and it helps that you get creative geniuses around and they come up with something that everybody loves.
I feel like my relationship to Scream is one such that it kind of incited a lot of my taste and understanding of myself as a film goer from a very early age. It was one of the first horror movies I watched. Scream was the first one I realized a horror movie could have love ingrained into its ethos in such a way that you could have a positive experience coming out of it from a sentimentality standpoint. So to be a part of it moving forward is genuinely a dream come true.
It's been really fun for me to see these films continue to bring in young audiences, and that people, even the younger kids, are still just as enamored by these films or have just as much fun with these films. They've been watching them all. They're not just connecting to the most recent. They're not just connecting to the younger characters. They're really engaging in the journey of all the characters, and that's been really fun to see.
I think with a Scream film, you're taken on a roller coaster ride. It's comedy, it's drama, it's horror, it's blood, it's guts, it's jump scares, it's set pieces. I think we kind of have it all.
This is a great script, and there's a beautiful emotional tether here, and it's gonna be one of the greatest Screams to come out. And the fans of Scream 7, the diehard fans, are gonna get what they deserve and more.
I'm gonna make everyone you love suffer, including your pretty daughter.
Don't you fucking dare!
This is gonna be fun.
Scream.
Creepy's kind of hot.
Only in theaters Friday. Get tickets now.